we should really be taking time to set boundaries in all aspects of our lives. But if I were to take the time to talk about that broad of a topic, we would be here forever. So today we are going to be talking about setting boundaries specifically in fitness and food. Why? Because it's often not talked about, I think, and it is very close to home to me this week, and I will share more on that later. But first, we have to start with the dance party, y'all. Let's get some energy moving. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, we start every single video with a 10-second dance party to get our energy raised, to get our minds ready and set to take in information and remember it. There is such a correlation between movement and memory, and when we're able to incorporate movement into a learning experience, and that is why you clicked on this video, so you can learn something, right? I hope so. So the point of this dance party is, one, to have fun, of course, but also to help remember and soak in all of this information. Okay, so let's go. Move your body. I wish I was actually a good dancer, but you know what? Life goes on. So I'm gonna warn you, today's a little crazy. The hair's a little crazy today, wouldn't cooperate, so we just threw it up. They are demolishing the house next door to me, so the fire department is literally right outside. So if you hear a bunch of banging, that is why. Oh, the joys of living in the city, right? But today is my film day and we gotta get it done. We got some important stuff to talk about, so let's settle in. So what are boundaries and where do they come from? We need to start at the beginning. So the definition of boundary is a line that marks the limit of an area. In short, boundaries are what you will and will not do. Now, again, boundaries are most often talked about in relationships and in life. Today, I really want to focus on fitness and food, setting boundaries in fitness and food, because I haven't heard anything about that. And it's something that I've had to learn how to do in my journey, and it's made a huge difference. Now, let me be really clear here. This is not something that I have achieved or arrived at. I am still constantly working on setting boundaries in all areas of my life, especially in fitness and food. So why this video is particularly close to home for me this week is because a couple days ago, I had a fabulous workout at the gym. I pretty much maxed out on all of my leg exercises. I came home, had a shake, sat on the couch, went to stand up, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel good. Now, if you haven't watched my video on workout tips, I will link it right here, but I did briefly share my story of why I'm so passionate about teaching and training proper form, setting boundaries and working out, and really having a good knowledge base on what you're doing at the gym is because when I was in college, I destroyed my lower back when I was doing back squats. I wasn't able to work out for months. It's something that I continually struggle with, AKA today and this past weekend. I think what happened in retrospect is that I didn't take enough time to listen to my body, and although I felt strong and I felt like I had really good energy, I obviously overdid it, and that is why I hurt my back. So I haven't been able to work out the past 2 days, which for me, working out is something that brings so much joy, so much energy, so much life into my life that it's really disappointing. But it inspired me to create this video to talk about creating and setting boundaries so we don't fall into these situations as often, or ideally at all. When we are able to successfully set and follow the boundaries that we are setting, we continue on this path of being well, mind, body, soul. The whole reason I created this channel is because everything is so interconnected. It's not just one thing that we need to work out and then we're gonna be like perfectly happy, perfectly fit, everything's gonna be going well in our life, right? Like, you need to eat healthy, you need to get enough sleep, you need to take care of yourself, you need to listen to your body. Sometimes the best thing that you can do for progress and to achieve your goals is to actually rest instead of go work out that day. Where do boundaries come from? Setting healthy boundaries really stems from our goals that we set. Now, we've talked about goal setting on my channel before. Here's a really fun video to watch of how to set goals, because the most important thing when you're setting goals is this. You need to be able to connect to why you want to achieve that goal. And let me tell you something, if your goal is centered in someone else, you will fail. I'm sorry, that may sound harsh, but that is a cold hard fact. If your why, the reason you want to achieve something, is centered in someone else, you will fail. When we are able to successfully connect to the deepest part, the deepest why, the deepest reason why we want to achieve something, that is where we find our purpose, our motivation, and that is where we are able to successfully show up every day and put one foot in front of the other. So in setting boundaries, the first place we have to start is setting our goals. Why do we want to achieve weight loss, building muscle, working out, eating healthy, having a healthy lifestyle? Think about that. Why do you really want that? This is a really great time to sit and be quiet and dive into why you have these goals. If we are not able to successfully set boundaries, we will get hurt. And that doesn't always mean physically, okay? So in my case, yes, I'm physically hurting, but that could also be hurting yourself in achieving your goals, whether they are achieved slower or whether this is hurting your happiness, your joy, your contentment. If you don't really want to achieve something, then you may be feeling discontent. You may be feeling like you are having trouble finding energy to push towards these goals. You might be feeling that you're having trouble staying consistent. Those are all signs that maybe you haven't connected to that deep why. It doesn't mean that that goal can't be achieved. It just means that you need to do a little bit more work. So how do we set these boundaries, especially in fitness and food? Because you can make a lot of connections to relationship and just life boundaries in general by watching this video, and I hope that you do, but I'm gonna focus more specifically on fitness and food. So here is a two-step, very simple process. Number one, I want you to sit down and look at your goals. And hopefully you write down your goals. If not, take some time now to write down those goals. Maybe go ahead and watch that video that I linked earlier and go through the process of writing down some goals and then come back and do this exercise. After every goal that you read, I want you to ask yourself, why do I have this goal? A really fun process is to continue to ask yourself why. It reminds me of like little kids, right? They're always asking, why? That is what I want you to kind of have the mindset of, is read your goal. So my goal is to lose 10 pounds. Okay, why do I want to lose 10 pounds? And after you come up with that answer, ask yourself why again, and keep diving deeper, 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 deeper. The best and most effective way to achieve your goals is to connect to your inner power. So take some time and be quiet. Journal, meditate, or go on a quiet walk. Whatever sounds good to you, but you must take that time to sit with yourself and connect to yourself. We don't really take a lot of time to do that, do we? Okay, and step number 2 is to practice setting boundaries. I don't know about you, but I struggle a lot with people pleasing and considering everyone else before myself. Does anyone else struggle with this? I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to upset or frustrate people. This is why practicing setting and following through on boundaries in a safe space with safe people is so important. It allows us to build that strength and that power within ourselves, and then we are able to carry that into other situations. So who do you feel safe with? It may be family, but for other people, it may not be your family. It may be people that you work with. It may be some friends. It might be some workout buddies. This does not need to be, and I encourage you, it does not need to be a big group of people. 1 or 2 people is perfectly fine. You don't feel like you have anyone to reach out to? Please reach out to me. I'm happy to support you in this journey. We must practice and build an accountability team. We as humans were created for community. Even the most introverted person needs and desires some sort of community. So work on building that safe community. That is the whole reason I started this channel, is because my hope and desire is to build and create a community that is safe for everyone to come and feel like they are able to be themselves, to grow and develop and learn. Sometimes we are blessed with having a strong community in our friends or our family or in our work. Sometimes we have to go out and build these things by ourselves for ourselves. So as a recap, super simple 2-step process. 1, look at your goals and why you want to achieve them. 2, practice and build a team. And think about who you need on your team. For me personally, I need people on my team to remind me that it's okay to slow down and take a break. I tend to get in this go, go, go mode. Like I said, I absolutely love working out, so it's really difficult for me to take a rest day. However, as I was reminded this past week, it's really important to listen to my body and to take that time to slow down. This is something that I often find myself needing reminders of, and so I have a team that I'm building around me that reminds me that it's okay to rest, it's okay to slow down. You might not need someone like that on your team. Maybe you're really good at taking time to rest. Maybe you need someone on your team that is able to hype you up and remind you why you set these goals and hold you accountable to continuing in that journey. All of this, setting boundaries, following through on boundaries, setting goals, all of this takes work and time and practice. So your loving reminder to give yourself grace in this process. It's not perfect. I'm not perfect, clearly, and neither are you, and that's okay. This is a journey. This is a process. Remember that. I'll see you next time, friends. Bye.